I was 25 years old when I first went to the county jail. And then my dad would say, like, hey, you're going backwards, mijo. You know, you're supposed to, like, do that, get that out of the way when you're young, you know? Like, YA, juvenile hall, stuff like that. And so with that being said, I got cancer while I was in there. Yeah, I had stage 3 colorectal cancer. If you ratted, you knew you were going to get fucking
Yeah.
and there was no ifs, ands, or buts, you know?
Yeah.
So it scared, it petrified people because it was real. They're come and get you or somebody in your family. So the wound was so close to my pee hole, it was still bleeding. So they thought I was bleeding inside, internally. So they were panicking because it's bad when it bleeds inside, you know? It's not even worth even thinking about being from a neighborhood and, you know, selling drugs. And they always say the only thing that comes out of it is either you die or you end up in prison for the rest of your life.
Welcome to Dreams That Money Can Buy podcast. We got Michael Jap here, and he's going to go in on his story right now. So I kind of just want, I want to start from the beginning about you. You know, like, where were you born?
I was born in Los Angeles, California in 1960. My parents didn't sing here, but I was born in Los Angeles, California. The hospital that I was born in is a rehab center now. John Wesley Hospital, downtown LA. It's by USC, the basketball and football, I mean, in the college and everything like that across the street.
How was that like?
It was cool. It was cool.
Like?
It was cool. It was cool. Never got in trouble. Was doing good. And then my parents were both in the household. But when I turned 16, they were always, not always. I don't want to say always, but they started to fight a lot. Yeah, argue, because my mom liked to drink her beers, you know. And my dad was a real bad alcoholic, but he got in an accident when he was in the army. And he almost died. So he was like stopped drinking completely because that woke him up. And my mom, she was never drank or anything. And then she just started drinking beer.
Got tired of the shit party, huh?
Yeah. So they started arguing over that. Like she would drink and wouldn't stop. And my dad had to get up and go to work. And
so you had it backwards.
Yeah. So it's exactly. So, and then she would like, cause I got into my neighborhood, Sangra, when I was 13. No shit. And then I got into the Chicos right the same day. We were in junior high school. My brothers were already from the neighborhood, and my dad was trying to keep me out of it, but they were always arguing and stuff, so I would take off, you know. I would go to the neighborhood, and at that young age, of course I'd come back home that night, but it was just like, I don't want to hear them fight, or I don't want to see everybody, because it got really bad. Like, one time I jumped on my dad's back and because he was hitting her, you know, and then she put a cigarette out on his face. And all the way till he died, he had the scar on his cheek up here. And then I was holding on to his neck, don't hit her, Dad, don't hit her. So that's when I kind of like, I don't want to see him fight no more, you know, I would take it out. So one day I came home, I'm 16 now, and I came home from school and everybody was gone out of the house. And all I had was a trash bag full of clothes. I went in the house and I was like, where's everybody at? You know, I was like, yeah, furniture, everything's gone, bro. I was like, so I stayed the night there, slept there, and then in the morning, someone was knocking on the door. It was a landlord. And I scared the shit out. He was knocking at first, then he opened it with a key. Yeah. And I was right there. He goes, what the hell are you doing here? You know, I was like, no, I live here. He goes, no, you don't. I'll be back at 12 o'clock. You better not be here. So I grabbed my stuff. And I went walking to the neighborhood, which wasn't too far. I live by I don't know if you're familiar with San Diego Mission.
No, I'm not.
Okay, well, I wasn't too far from there, and the neighborhood is like not too far from there. So I went over there. I was like sitting in the neighborhood, like waiting for someone to come by. And I didn't go to school that day, but my homie that lived there, you know, he came from school and so, what are you doing? And I was like, I had nowhere to go, you know. Yeah. He goes, well, man, my mom's gonna trip if you stay, but you can stay in my 55 Chevy, and I'll wake up in the morning, take a shower, and then we'll go to school. Because his mom would be like, what the hell is he doing here, you know? And I didn't expect him to let me stay there, but I just didn't know where to go. So I stayed there for a couple of nights, and then one of my other homies heard of it and got wind of it and said, nah, hell no, you're gonna come and stay with me. And he talked to his dad, and his dad said, you can stay with me, mijo, but as long as you go to school, I'll let you stay here. because I found out years later that my friend Anthony, he was adopted. So
Really?
yeah, the man John Hernandez, he was a good man, and he adopted a couple other kids too. So he had a little house in the back, and I stayed there, and then
Oh, sure.
yeah, and then
You still talk to him or no?
yeah, I just seen him not too long ago. We went to a little. They have a thing for San Gabriel, like the military. The guys that were in the military, they have like a celebration every year.
Veteran?
Yeah,
Yeah.
and like that, but just for the people from San Gabriel.
Oh, okay.
And he was there. Yeah, I see him every once in a while, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was a trip, and got in trouble, and the cops told me that if you don't leave town, we're gonna arrest you, because somebody got stabbed. They almost died, and they heard that we were, certain people were there because someone said.
Yeah.
So I freaking went 1977. I went to Job Corps. I went there.
So,
I went there for a year.
so did you never talk to your parents and your family again?
Well,
or-
yeah, of course. When I got married to my second wife, I asked my dad and my mom, why did you leave me? Why did you leave me like that?
What happened?
So my dad, he moved to Pico Rivera, and
Without saying nothing? Like they just.
well, yeah, they were just gone. Everybody's gone, So my dad moved to Pico Rivera, and then he told me the only reason why I didn't take you with me because you're already from San Gabriel,
Yeah.
and I didn't want him to jump you or kill you or whatever, because it was really bad in the 70s.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay. And then my mom didn't have nowhere to go. She was staying with my tias and, whoever, her friends, So I couldn't stay with her. So
How did you end up getting into like that? You said your brothers were already in already, but how did you end up like?
getting to the neighborhood,
Yeah.
we were all growing up in junior high school. And
But you didn't have to do anything or like,
oh, dude, so when I turned 16,
they do like jump you or like?
oh yeah, they jump you in for 30 seconds.
Oh, sure.
And then jump you into the click right after for 30 seconds. Now we're
Well,
kids.
it's like administrative.
Yeah, we're kids, man. We're young,
Yeah.
We didn't know any better. Just stupid. We didn't realize how fucking serious it got. I mean, it was until they started killing my homeboys.
Oh, sure.
One died, like Lalo died literally, like he got shot and he hit me and we fell in the street and he was dead from a shotgun blast. He walked up to a car. And they said they were from Monteflores, which was another gang that we got along with at the time. And then they were actually from Lomas, our rival gang.
Oh,
And yeah, he walked up to the car. He goes, "Hey, come on, get up, man. We're partying right here. You can kick it with some of the homebros right here." Or some dude in the backseat just got up and shot him. And he flew back and hit me. We landed on the street and he was dead, But
so you were that close?
yeah, I was right there, right behind. Told me, "Hey, get over here."
How old were you at that?
16.
Oh, sure.
Yeah. So when Lalo died, we were the same age, but there was another homeboy that was the first one to die that I seen in San Gabriel. He was 16 too, and I was 14. I saw him get killed. But when Lalo died, I started carrying a gun. After that, I was like, you know what, this shit is real. It's either kill or be killed.
Right.
And it was just like back and forth.
Survival at that point.
Yeah, it was crazy, From living like the way I was, I started selling drugs, That's
At
why
16 or before you went to the job corps?
before I started selling like 13, 14.
Yeah.
Yeah, just weed, just like joints, firecrackers, or a bud, for video, just little shit, But I started hey, this is pretty easy, it's cool, making some money, have money in school. So it started like that, and then when I was pretty much homeless or on my own, that's when I got into it really heavier,
Yeah.
So to survive.
Do you think this the environment you're in? Because like when I was like 13, I started selling candy. Like I just started buying candy and started selling candy.
The people were selling oranges on the side of the road.
Yeah.
It's kind of like the same thing, but it's legal.
But see, I didn't sell drugs. Do you think the environment had more to do with that? That you had to that you started selling drugs?
It was survival, man. Like I didn't have no job at that age, and then I could have got a job, but I didn't think like that.
Because of where you were at, right?
Yeah.
Because of
This is easy money.
yeah.
And that's the way I thought the whole time, I'm, so that's how I started that stupid career, you know?
Yeah.
And I didn't have no guidance, like, just my homeboys, you know? Like, my
That's
friends.
how you're being raised, because your parents are already there, kind of being all raised by each other.
My parents were gone, and I was just, like, on the streets just doing my thing, you know? After that, went to Job Corps, and then I came back. I wanted to take up carpentry, but it was full. So I ended up doing carpet and drywall hanging and linoleum tables, stuff like that. I graduated from there, but I never, when I got back home, I never went after that career, you know? I started going back to my drug dealing life, and then I started, you know, just doing that. Then I got a job laying carpet.
What was the first crime that got you, like?
I was 25 years old when I first went to the county jail. And then my dad would say, like, hey, you're going backwards, mijo. You know, you're supposed to, like, do that, get that out of the way when you're young, you know? Like, YA, juvenile hall, stuff like that.
Yeah. When do you think you were most, like, deepest in that? Like, at what age were you deepest into that kind of life, or that part of your life?
I kind of like in 1981. Oh, I got married in 1981 because she was my girlfriend at the time, but then she became my wife. She was pregnant already.
Was she in that type of environment as well?
Yeah. She grew up in a city called Bassett Grande neighborhood. That's by La Puente and Armani and stuff. So her brothers and everybody was from Bassett. So anyway, she was pregnant, and the thing about me and her, we divorced. We separated. We divorced like only after like 4 years. We didn't last because we didn't even know each other. Like, we didn't get to know each other. She got pregnant, you know?
Yeah.
It just happened like that so fast. But the same day my son was born, I got shot. That night. Well, that afternoon. He was born in the morning and I got shot. The crazy part is where I got shot, you know? So I went through a lot of shit just going and getting shot. Like, I went there, and as soon as I got there, I went to school with this kid named Alan Byron. We're the same age, and his mom's a nurse there. And the first thing he told her, Michael, I told you not to be from gangs. And I go, Mrs. Byron, I don't want to hear that right now. Just, she goes, where'd you get hit? I go, I think I got hit down there. She goes, so the doctor comes, and they're looking at me, and he starts to turn me on my side, and he has his gloves, and I go, hey, Doc, what are you doing? He says, well, I'm looking for the bullet where it entered. And I go, it didn't enter back there. It's up here. So I had the intravenous. So when you do that, you pee every 5 minutes, you know?
Yeah.
So the wound was so close to my pee hole, it was still bleeding. So they thought I was bleeding internally. So they're panicking because it's bad when it bleeds inside, you know? So anyway, long story short, I had insurance. They gave me to Kaiser Hospital, and I go through some procedures there with sticking a catheter inside me, shooting hot dye inside me. And then my dad and my stepmother were there, and my sister. And my dad's telling me, I'm laying there, he goes, mijo, whatever you do, don't look at your balls. And I went, what? And they're fucking this big dude, black like that, because of the gunshot, you know, the gunshot wound.
Like swelling or what? What is it?
Yeah. They swelled up like fucking, they look like avocados, you know?
Yeah.
So I was like, oh, shit, man, fucking, I was panicking there, you know? Fuck. So they took X-rays of me and shot that hot dye. I couldn't move. We kept moving. They got to do it again. So
When you were at your deepest in that part of your life, like, what do you remember feeling? Like, what do you, like, what were you going through? What was your mindset at?
well, you know, the thing with being in a gang is like it's actually really fucked up because I lost a lot of good homies, good friends, you know,
Right.
that we were so close.
Right.
And the other one, my Cuate was another one of my homies that we were getting high and behind these hedges, bushes, you know, in San Gabriel in the barrio, and then one of the homies said, hey, Lomas is around, and we're smoking, you know, smoking PCP.
Yeah.
So we're fucking incapacitated when you smoke that shit, right? It's like, oh, whatever. And so it's my turn. He's sitting right next to me, and it's my turn to hit it. You know, he passed it to me. And then he falls over and I go, hey, fool, what the fuck? Kick back. And he fell over. The car came by. I didn't even hear the fucking gunshot. I was so fucked up. And it hit him in the head and killed him instantly. But I couldn't even help him to the car. My homeboy Topper and a couple of homies, they're all like screaming and fucking. I'm just like, what the fuck? What happened? Like, and they rushed him to the hospital, but he was dead already,
You were so fucked up, you never.
Yeah, I was fucking high. That shit just like, ooh, like, it's a trip. Don't ever do it. But yeah, it's just like, it gets you like a zombie,
Yeah.
And so I was only like probably like 17, 18 when that happened. But
Oh, sure.
yeah, so that was another one, But there was others that like, that I got shot, and then there was others, that got. So when I got shot, I was like, fuck this. I'm gonna backpedal now, I don't want to fucking die, but kind of just because I have a son now, I gotta be responsible, When you get drunk and you wake up in a cell and you're looking at a life sentence because you murdered somebody, what do you think he's gonna do, If he wasn't the trigger man or he wasn't, But it was a lot of that going back and forth, then it was just like really, really crazy times. And, like I see the kids now, like, they don't even dress like, I didn't dress like a cholo, I didn't dress up khakis, nothing like that. We were called rock and roll gangsters. We would listen to Led Zeppelin and smoke weed, take acid, do mushrooms, but we would listen to that music.
It's your kind of people, huh?
Yeah, it was cool, it was really cool, and the music, the other homies would listen to oldies and sad songs, fucking crying, but Angel Baby, yeah, fucking all that shit. I was like, nah, man, that's not cool, when you're getting fucked up, you want to listen to some rock and roll,
Yeah.
So that's the way, me and my generation we grew up, and it was good times,
Did you see a lot of people like you lost them, like they weren't the same, or they like told on people and like
There was some.
Yeah,
There was
like,
some.
they read it out and like
Yeah. Yeah, I won't mention their names because, they know what they did, and most of them are probably gone. Because you can't come around the neighborhood,
Right.
because that shit stays with you no
Yeah.
matter where you go,
Well, I don't know if you could talk about it, but so when you go in, like let's say someone talks, like what would go like what would be the consequence, or what would happen?
If someone ratted,
Yeah.
oh, if they catch you, I mean, nowadays, let me tell you the truth. Nowadays, you can get away with it, because this last time I did in federal prison, it was crazy. Like, like it was like we were honorable, like we were loyal, like if you ratted, you knew you were gonna get fucking killed.
Yeah.
And there was no ifs, ands, or buts,
Yeah.
So it scared, it petrified people because it was real. They'll come and get you or somebody in your family. So that stayed in my mind. Like I wasn't gonna tell anyway. I just was raised like that,
Right.
So nowadays, like this last time I did in federal prison, there was guys walking on the yard that paid $10,000 to the big homie, which is the Mexican mafia, right?
Mm-hmm.
You pay $10,000 to him, and you can walk the yard, and nobody could touch you.
Oh shoot.
Yeah, so you could actually, if you had money, you could tell.
Damn.
And I said, that's when I was like, man,
Yeah.
this shit is way fucking different now.
So where do you think you got the best advice that you wish you would have took and you never did?
The best advice was from my older homies when I was growing up, and I didn't listen.
Well, what was it like?
Just fly straight.
Yeah.
Because you're gonna be like me, in and out of prison, and and I just like would laugh, or not laugh at him or laugh at them, but like, when you're that age,
Yeah.
you don't fucking listen.
That's what I'm saying. What was it, more the adrenaline? That's what I was saying. What was going through your mind at that time? Who did you see yourself as? Like, was it more the adrenaline? You didn't give a fuck. Like you're.
Yeah, the thing, like I told you, when they killed my homies, I was just like, fuck this shit, man,
Yeah.
and I was so angry, and then I was going like, just going over there and fucking doing stupid shit, and then coming back and going back, and it never ended. Even when I got shot, I kind of like fucked up a little bit, but then I just realized that I just said, fuck this shit,
When the first time you got arrested, what went through your mind? Like, what were you going through? Like, what was? How many kids did you have at that time?
Well, I had one kid, and then that son that was, but then after that, it was a wrap, you know.
Oh, okay.
So that was it. That's the only thing that happened to me that I couldn't have kids no more.
Oh, sure.
Yeah, which is cool.
Yeah.
Because any chick that tried to say that she was pregnant from me,
Yeah.
yeah, here's the paperwork.
That happened before?
You're a liar. Hell no. Because I'm pretty sure they knew, you know.
Yeah.
So real quick story. What happened to me when I was shot? I was Kaiser Hospital. So I was in there for like 3 or 4 days, and the Indian lady, the one that has a dot on their forehead, from India.
Yeah.
She came in there. She comes in. She's gonna give me a sponge bath, you know.
Yeah.
And so she proceeds to give me a sponge bath. Then she goes down there and and then he woke up out of a coma. And she literally went like this to the tip of my fucking thing. And I went, fuck, I was yelling, what the fuck are you doing, man? I told her, did you read my chart? That's where I got shot. And she's like, we won't have none of that. You know, I was like, fuck, I had no control. I had no control over him. You know, you woke him up. And then she fucking knocked him.
Yeah, that's sexual assault.
Yeah, so they moved her out of there. You know, I told the doctor what happened, and he said, oh, well, then she shouldn't have done that. She should have just like cover you up. And I go, fuck, man, crazy. That's where I got shot. Right there, you know.
Yeah.
I was so fucking mad. But anyways, yeah, that was one of the worst things that happened to me in the hospital. Oh, fuck.
Not getting shot?
Yeah, that hurt more than getting shot.
Yeah.
Seriously, I was like, damn, man, what the hell's wrong with you, lady? But she was she had broken English. She didn't know.
But you think the first time was just like petty crimes? Or?
No, the first time I hit the county jail in 1985, my brothers had already told me what to expect.
Yeah.
So I already went in there like, you know, I was cool. Because if you go in the county jail and you ask a lot of questions, they know you're a fish.
Oh, I got you.
So they say, we got a live one, you know.
Yeah.
So they call you a live one. Like when they ask me, what's going to happen next? Well, they're going to come and they're going to stick their finger up your ass and check you for, you know, see if you got any. And I'm just playing with it. They tell these people that, and they'll be all fucking scared and shit. Like you could use whatever your imagination and just tell them, and they don't know, you know.
Yeah.
But it's just a joy, and
I bet they all have that. My career was car business. I started selling cars, and they would like when the new guys came on, we would be like, oh, here's a slip. Go take it to the gas station for a bonus. So they'd take it to the gas station and it'd be like, oh, give me a bonus. And what the fuck are you talking about?
What I mean, it's the same thing.
Yeah.
They could tell them, so they would have fun with it like that. And the county jails, I always tell everybody, if you can make it to the LA County Jail, you can make it in any prison in the world.
Yeah. Why is that?
Because it's fucking rough in there.
What was the first thing you saw?
So I mean, you got people from all over coming in and out of there, right? Different races, different ethnics, and all that. So the first thing, you know, like our car, the Homeboys, Sureños, right, are residents. So when they tell you who you run with,
Yeah.
what are you gonna say?
Mexican.
Okay. So some are like confused. I don't know if I should run Paisa or Raza, you know, Chicago.
Oh, okay, I got you.
So I've seen some guys say Paisa and tell me I fucked up for me. I should have run. Because we're so united,
Yeah.
it's fucking scary. We control the whole prison system. There's more Sureños, Raza in the whole system. And people could say whatever they want, but we run the place, you know. And I don't mean to say it, we, like now I'm doing it, but you know, the Raza runs the whole system,
right?
Because we're like roaches. They're fucking everywhere, you know.
Yeah.
And now you got them going in up north. There's like a lot of Sureños up there now, you know. Like it's crazy because those guys are in the battlefield. They're up there with all the Norteños, and they're fucking claiming.
Because it got split up, right? Well, I remember in the book it says it kind of got split up, and there was a little period where.
Yeah, and so with that being said, I got cancer while I was in there. Yeah, I had stage 3 colorectal cancer, and
How did you find out about that, or how do you?
I was hemorrhaging
Oh shit!
when I was
Okay.
going to the restroom. Yeah, so was so close to my rectum, they had to reconstruct it.
Fuck.
Yeah. And my girlfriend too. She had cancer too.
Oh really?
Yeah, we both went through it. So
What was your going through your mind the first time though? Like you're like, oh shit, I'm not gonna be home for a while. That's it. You're just like, fuck it. Like I'm just gonna.
yeah, once I got in the system and started, doing my time, then I say I have fun in it because you got to make the best of it.
Of course, yeah.
I'm not gonna be like, oh, to go home. No, I
You gotta
fucked
stop
up.
worrying
So
about
I had to pay my dues.
yeah.
I never complain. I never say, man, why me?
Yeah.
I put myself there.
Right.
And I knew that eventually I was gonna get caught. I'm not gonna lie, and say, oh, man, but I did get away for 10 years.
Yeah.
So when I got out of 96, I moved to San Diego, and then I started doing my thing. But
Robert just messaged right now. He's like, I want to go see. I want to go. What day is he coming?
oh, who, Robert?
Yeah, he wanted to come. He wanted to.
Oh, yeah, he's somewhere out here, I think.
Yeah, he is. He is. I mean, I saw him in Riverside.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, Robert just got out too. He's
Yeah, he
been
did.
out
Yeah.
long. Yeah, so he's a good kid, man.
I just want to see, like, I wanted to tap into what you were thinking at that moment. At that moment, it was probably fun to you, and then now looking back at it, your story and like how you wrap it all up
Yeah,
is a big difference to who you were back then, which is a good thing. We have to change to be able to.
yes. And all the money that I made, and I made money hand over fist.
Well, I
The
bet
money that I made
yeah,
wasn't worth the time that I got
yeah.
behind it. It just, I'm never gonna get that time back.
And those were good years where you felt your best.
I lost. So this last one, I was in there on my 50th and 60th birthday.
Yeah, fuck.
Yeah, so I spent it there,
Yeah.
So my second wife, she had died from cancer in
Oh shit.
2012 while I was inside. Then my mom died 3 years later, and then my dad died 2 months before I came home.
Oh shit.
So the thing is, like, you ever heard the saying? Of course you have. Everything happens for a reason. So I truly, once I realized why I got arrested or why I was incarcerated, and people couldn't believe it or not, but it was all for a reason, because my wife died.
Is there something you wish you would have told your mom or your dad or anything?
Well, I used to talk to my mom, but she would always cry. Hi, my wife is like, Mom, I'm gonna hang up. I love you, Mama, but you can't be crying all the time. She goes, I know, but yeah, I miss you so much. I miss you too, Mom. The thing I have to live with is I wasn't there for them. Not for them, but to be there when they passed.
Yeah.
And I should have been,
What do you think was your best memory with her?
With my mom?
Yeah.
Oh, me and my mom used to talk shit to each other, bro.
Yeah.
Like, she would talk shit to me, I'd talk shit back to her.
Those were the good times, huh?
Yeah, yeah, like, because I used to live in San Diego, but I'd come every weekend.
Yeah.
And take her to go to get her nails done. If she needed her nails done, or get her hair done. Just buy her groceries, make sure she was.
Yeah.
I had a good job. I was making $32 an hour. Plus, I was selling dope.
Yeah.
So and then I was just blowing the dirty money. I was just like fucking just like whatever,
Did you make the most money selling dope than any other drug?
Yeah, because I was selling meth and I didn't use meth.
Yeah.
And I was like fucking just, oh man, I would be like, I had so much money I had to cut my mattress and stick it in there.
Oh shit.
Because I didn't know where to put it. I couldn't put it in the bank because after $5,000, they start questioning it.
Yeah.
So I would open a bank accounts for,
I think it's 10,000 now, but yeah,
the 10,000 now.
yeah, listen.
Though back then it was 5,000. So I would try not to be like, and then I wouldn't flash nothing. I wouldn't buy brand new cars but I had money for whatever I wanted to do.
Yeah.
And I didn't want to be like flashing nothing.
Yeah.
I would buy like a bucket or, a fucking Camry 2000, whatever. I mean, a 1997, new, nice looking ones. And a Ford Explorer.
Crazy, yeah.
But I wouldn't put no rims. The nicest truck I ever had, I bought from my son, and they stole it.
Oh,
It was a GMC Sierra.
Oh, so what was the best memory of your dad? Father.
Well, my dad was always like taking me because I was the youngest of the boys.
Oh,
So he's trying to keep me out of the mix, you know, because my brothers are already in the neighborhood and everything. But from my early age, I mean, he was just like got me into motocross riding,
oh, so
got me a motorcycle. The first motocross race I crashed, and I could see my dad looking for me, right? And I got up out of the ditch, and I look at him. I'm over here, Dad. I'm over here. But anyway, he would take me like hunting, fishing, camping. He taught me how to survive. You know, he freeze dried food. You know, like the people in the service, they have all those rations and stuff like that.
how were you able to, like,
So,
you got a steady hand still, like being on drugs? You still had like a.
well, I actually didn't do really hard drugs. I did them when I was younger in the pen. Like I was like the only thing I really did was smoke that PCP. You know.
Yeah.
And then in there, you know, it was cool. Like, yeah, I had a steady hand.
Yeah.
It was just a more I even had the COs when I was in Chuckawalla. They were bringing me ink.
Oh,
Just
shit.
draw them something nice for their girl or something, you know.
Yeah.
Draw it for me. But then sometimes they just bring it to me.
Yeah.
Nothing other than that ink, you know.
Yeah.
Because it was nothing, you know.
Right.
It'd go through the metal detector. They wouldn't even know. They got to go through the metal detectors too.
Yeah.
They're even on them more now, I heard, because they can bring phones and shit. There's a lot of cooking COs.
Yeah.
And you find out when they get arrested that, you know,
But they're crooked.
man, I never thought he would do something like that. Or because they get like 500 a phone, I heard, or even more now. And then in the feds, it's a trip because in the feds, you got cartel, you got fucking dudes with money.
Yeah, I was looking at
Big money.
How do you think that book affected how everything goes down?
The book, oh, the Black Hand.
The Black Hand. How do you think?
He told out everybody.
Yeah.
He told.
And he told everything how everything goes down.
And so even like a couple of dudes that I knew personally, like Chuco from V&E and Gibby from Norwalk, they're big homies too. Chuco, he praised Chuco for giving up all the dudes at that motel, all the big home. Remember he was wired?
Mm-hmm.
Supposedly I heard they got $1 million for doing that, but I don't know how true it is. But he was praising them for that, you know, for their. I said, no, man.
Yeah.
You know, they went against the golden rule, you know.
How hard do you think they'd still live by like the same rules? Like you can't be gay, you can't like.
Oh yeah. No, there's no gay shit.
Yeah.
You know, you fucking
Killed?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, they just fucking get rid of it. Most of the time, like I said, now it's different. So they'll tell 'em, get the fuck off the yard.
Yeah.
You stay in the yard, then you can get dealt with, you know. They give you opportunity before they will fucking just rush you and fucking kill you, you know. That's the way it was. It was just like
The book's pretty open about like how everything will go down. They would just go up to you, stab you, they could walk away.
they didn't fuck with those dudes. They fucking, that's why they made a name for themselves, and that's how you do it, you know. Scare the fucking, put fear in somebody's ass, and you're gonna fucking oh shit, you know.
How do you think like you changed from the time before this last time to this last time? Like from 96 to, I think you said 96, right? To
When I got busted in 2009.
yeah, to 2009. Yeah.
Well, this time, because I'm so fucking old, I can't do no more time. And not that I would go back to it, but see, here's the thing about drug cases in the state of California. It's, if you get a drug case, anytime you do, you get half time.
Yeah.
But what happened with me on this case, where I got the 20 years, this dude that he was a partner of mine in San Diego, but I did time with him when he was 18, and I was a little older than him. I even tattooed him and everything.
Like it's kind of like blow.
Yeah, so he told on me. He sent me, well, he didn't tell him. He didn't set me up. Take that, let me back, rewind. So he asked me if I can get him some dope, and I told him, I think I know somebody. I didn't want to tell him I had it.
Yeah.
Because he was a heroin addict. I did like 2 or 3 buys and sales to him. And the 4th one, they hit me. Within a month, I was looking at 10 years minimum mandatory. Then when he got beat up in prison because he told on me, they blamed me. They said I put a hit on him. But let me back up. He was a friend of mine at the time. Like,
Where'd you meet this guy? How close were you to him?
I met him in Chuckawalla prison. And then when I moved to San Diego, I was washing my car, outside, and then he lived around in that area.
How old were you when you went to
Chuckawalla? I was 28.
Oh, so you had met him then?
Yeah, I met him then, and then we years went by, like probably like 10, 15 years, and I was washing my car out there in San Diego, right in front of my house, and I said, "Hey, Jap," I heard that, and I was like, and I saw him coming across the street. He parked across the street and came. I was like, "Oh, hey, what's up?" I won't say his name because whatever. But he came up and he said, "What's up, homie? Fucking nothing much. How you doing, man?" And shook his hand, gave him a hug. Hey, what's up, brother? So I was washing my car. Told me, yeah, we started talking. I said, man, I got my back's fucked up. So he goes, well, I got some Norcosets, Darkos, I go, what are those? And I don't know what that was, but it's an opiate anyway, right? I come to find out later. So he goes, here, try one, He gave me a few of them. I took one and I was like, I didn't feel no pain.
Yeah.
You could have hit me with a fucking board and I wouldn't even felt it. I was like, it's freaking heroin, basically.
Yeah.
So now I'm like, oh shit, my back pain's gone. I'm like, so I tell him, hey, I hit him up. I told him, hey, you got any more of those Norcosets, He says, I get a prescription 30 every month, and I'll sell for $3 a piece to you. So for I think he gave me 30, so it's $300. So I bring him over here, man. So when he got his prescription, I got it. So then anyway, he's telling me, he calls me there. He goes, hey, Jack, because he was selling, but I didn't know he was selling guns too. So that's how the feds got involved. ATF and the DEA. Had I not fucking dealt with this dude, if I would have got busted, I wouldn't have got busted then, but if I would have got busted in the future from there, I would have just got halftime. Yeah. So that's why I was always like comfortable dealing. Yeah. I know it's not a fucking good thing to say, but I was comfortable dealing at time because I know I wouldn't do that much time.
Yeah. What were you thinking differently? How were you thinking differently when you were in this last time?
Oh, when I got to 20 years, I fucking couldn't believe it. I was like, what the fuck did I just do? I went to trial. I went to trial, it was only a few days, and then to find me guilty, it was like 40 minutes.
Oh, sure.
But I knew I was going to get, found guilty. There was no ifs, ands, or buts, because in the feds, 98% who goes to trial, guilty.
Oh, sure.
So it was cool because, like I said, I took that opportunity to go to trial, because I don't know, deep down in my heart, I just knew I wasn't going to do the whole 18 and a half years, out of the 20, 85% you do.
Yeah.
And then that's what happened. And I got cancer while I was in there. And trip out on this story, I was in the cancer ward in North Carolina. They diagnosed me with stage 3 colorectal cancer in Lawpont. And then they said, we got to get you out of here. And
you have to go back for cell, or what are you?
Yeah, we were in a cancer ward.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So we were kept away from everybody because we're so susceptible. And then COVID freaking hits. In 21, I had my surgery in 20. So now I was supposed to wear a ileostomy bag. Ileostomy is temporary, and colostomy is permanent.
Yeah. So
I had to wear ileostomy, and they said they'll take it off in 6 months. Fucking COVID hits. So now we can't go out to the city, because they take us out to the city to do our surgery. I can't go out to the city, no movement, they got to take, So then a year goes by, almost to the year. So before I had my my bag taken off, this old man comes in, and there's only two of us, two Sureños, guys from the South, and there was only two of us, me and Güero from White Fence. And everybody else was Paisas, Puerto Ricans, what are the dudes from Chicago, Latin Kings and all that shit?
Oh.
Yeah, all those old gangster fucking dudes. We're all diagnosed with, we all have cancer.
Yeah.
Some of us are gonna live and some of us are gonna die, you know? That's the bottom line.
Right.
So this old man comes in and he's from Pomona. You're familiar with Pomona, right?
Yeah, what is that? Yeah.
Okay, Pomona, 12th Street. Old man, he's like 75 years old. Comes in, so he's sold up with a black guy. And so I'm sold up with a white dude, and he's leaving though in a few days. And I said, hey homie, as soon as my Sally leaves, we get to know each other. I said, as soon as my Sally, I'll bring you over here with me. All right, cool, you know? So this dude's all into yoga and doing all this crazy shit. I bring him to my pad and he's fucking studying. I would wake up in the morning, he's on literally on his feet are up here crossed and he's on his head, you know, like with his arms crossed.
Oh shit. Okay.
And he doesn't wear, you know, yoga. Yoga, and he's a Buddhist.
Oh shit.
So
From Pomona? He's from Pomona.
He's from 12th Street. So trip on this shit. He doesn't use a mattress, and he sleeps on the metal rack. Now I have a hospital bed because I just had surgery.
Yeah.
Remember, from the cancer, so I'm all tore up. So he says he's got cancer in the blood, and he's got a year to live. But he would tell me all the time, I'm going nowhere, homie. I'm gonna beat this shit. I said, yeah, that's right. You know, stay positive. So I told him, well, it's in the morning. We'll fill out a sick call slip, and then we'll have the nurse to come and see you. You know, all right. So all night he's doing that shit, and I wake up in the morning and I hear like on his bed, the metal bed. You know, it's like. So I get up, fucking, what are you doing, homie? Everything all right? I turn the light on. He goes, no, man, this fucking pin don't work. And it's a pair of the fucking scissors, the little scissors they sell at the store. So he's hallucinating now. You know, you get the scissors trying. I go, hey, I got it. I'll fill it out for you. Don't trip. I got a pin right here. I fill it out. I put it in the door. The nurse comes in. But before she came, he gets up and he goes to the faucet. And he puts his hands out like this. You know, there's no automatic.
Yeah.
Sitting there, you gotta use it. Also, so, I mean, what do you call it? The stem. So he's doing this shit, and he goes, fucking sink don't work. Fucking sink don't work. So I go, you need some water or something? You know, just use the shower water. So, and I didn't want to fucking, you know, like trip him off. So no, that's all right. Fucking, she sits down. The nurse comes. I told her, hey, you know what? He's hallucinating. You know, and they go, okay, we'll be right back. They came, they took his blood. They went and I guess sampled it up, found out what's up with him, came back like 15 minutes later, 10 or 15 minutes later, and they fucking rushed him out of there.
Damn.
And that night I'm watching, because I sleep right in front of the TV. I sleep right in front of the TV, right? I go, what's up, Tarzan? That was his name, Tarzan from Pomona. What's up, Tarzan? You left me, homie? You leaving me? And I was just like, fucking. And sure enough, in the morning, they come and get me, my counselor and his counselor, and take me out. As we're walking to the office, I told them, hey, my bunkie died last night, huh? And they go, how do you know? They stopped and looked at me, how do you know? And I said, because I know, you know, I just know. I didn't tell him about the curtain, you know. He was saying bye to me, bro. I truly believe that, you know. It got pretty close. He was in there for almost a year with me, in the cell with me. Come to find out when I got out, because this dude down the way, Paisa, kept telling me, hey, este vato's norteño. And I go, fuck you, he's from Pomona. He's a homie, you know. He goes, no, it's Paisa. It's Paisa. De veras, it's Paisa. So I guess he was in some prison in Mendota, and that's all norteños. But I didn't know this yet, you know. I didn't know what's up with them until I got out. So I get all his shit together, and I'm going through his stuff so I can send it to somebody's address. I'm looking for an address, and I going through some pictures. He's got nothing but pictures of norteños.
Oh shit!
Yeah, they're all norte and all this shit. So when I get out, bro. I get out on fuck. Yes, he could have killed me. He could have killed. We're enemies to the bone. So when I get out, I found out this dude was like a big dog for Nuestra Familia. He's one of the founders that started Nuestra Familia. I was like, what the fuck?
Why do you think he said that then?
Because he was, you know, but I didn't believe it because he's...
So why do you think he said that he was from Pomona?
Well, because that's what he was where he grew up, you know?
Oh,
He was a bank robber. He robbed a bunch of banks, and he told me a story about when he robbed a bank one time dressed as a girl, dressed as a woman, and he was going down the street, and his homeboys were whistling at him. And, what's up, baby? I was laughing, man. He goes, I go, they didn't know it was you. He goes, fuck, no, they thought I was some woman, you know, some like that one. But that was funny, man. But yeah, that's so yeah, he was a big dude, like big dude for them.
What do you think was like the craziest story that you heard, like in all your time in prison?
Oh yeah.
Like, what do you think was the craziest? Like, fuck, that guy was fucking nuts.
Oh, I heard dudes fucking cutting fucking people up, like cutting parts of their body off. And even one time someone cut somebody's penis off, shoved it in his mouth because he was a rat. You know, just crazy shit, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, I'm just like, some people in there, they got caught for something different than other things that they've done.
Well, yeah, then you find out that this dude's a molester and he's a homie. But I've never seen too many of that, like really.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, a lot of the homies are...
What would happen in that situation?
Fucking, you better not get fucking...
Fucking,
yeah. You better run. You better run when they find out. Oh, the craziest thing I seen, though, and I won't say his name either, but one of the homies that I was with, I used to be a cook in there. And I was going down to the...
he's done everything.
I was going down to the freezer. I did laundry. It was laundry too. Fucking, I used to run a CNC machine and fucking inside there too. But anyway, I came out to the back. They have big freezers, you know, one for the meat, one for the vegetables and stuff like that, warehouse back there. So I went out to go get some eggs or something. I was making breakfast, and I caught the homie right there fucking kissing a dude. And he went like this, like fucking deer headlights, fucking. He was like, and then all the fucking, I just thought, I went, "You fucking motherfucker."
Yeah.
And I liked the dude, but I could have gave him up, and he could have been fucking like gone, like, you know.
Yeah.
Not so much killed, but off the yard, you know.
Yeah.
Because they don't play that shit.
What do you think?
He would chase me, literally fucking, Jap, please don't tell me. Get the fuck away from me, homie.
Yeah.
Just don't even fucking come around me, dude. Just fucking leave me alone.
Who was the other guy? That you didn't know the other guy?
There's a fucking chirujo in there. Paisa chirujo. Hey, they have fucking tit. They have little tits and shit because they do steroids. They do like steroids, hormones. There you go. And then they loses their hair, shit. And they shape a lot of the no disrespect to the paisas, but a lot of the motherfuckers be chasing those fucking dudes, man. Yeah, they look like fucking beautiful fucking women. And then it's a fucking dude right there. Fucking. Anyway, so after like I said, I found out about it. I was like just tripping out. But the thing is, we were both fighting cancer, and we looked out for each other. You know.
Yeah.
That was the whole. And I think if I would have found out he was doing, I would have still took care of him. You know.
Yeah. See, that comes with just that's nature, though. I think our nature is we should be helping each other. You know what I mean? Like at that point, nothing else mattered. Like it didn't matter where you came from or anything. It was a time where like you were needed and you guys needed each other and you guys were there for each other.
Yeah. And that's what a lot of his homies said. Like he was like a god to these dudes. They're having like, what happened to him? So I got on the podcast to let them know I was with them when he died. So any story that you heard from somebody else, I'm going to tell you the whole story right here, what happened with Tarzan. It was still my homie. He was from Pomona, you know, just to me.
Yeah.
So it didn't matter, you know. And then I found out, like a lot of those dudes back in the days, they didn't like the way the Mexican mafia ran. So they chose Nuestra Familia and they started their own. And a lot of them are from L.A.
Yeah.
Real shit.
I mean, yeah, it talks about a little bit right there.
Yeah, a lot of them from L.A.
Do you think that's what he saw, though? He saw, like, okay, I went through my whole life, like, hating these guys, and I don't even know them, and now I have someone here next to me, and, like, look how he's being, so he's...
Well, I mean, I have Sur right here.
Yeah. Oh, that's true.
You know what I mean? And to get this, you got to earn it.
Right.
And I'm not going to say no more, you know?
Yeah.
So a lot of these, when I was tattooing, a lot of these youngsters, hey, put Sur on me. I go, I can't.
Yeah.
I don't even know you like that. You know, you got to earn that shit, you know?
I was talking about, because you said Tarzan, I was talking about him, like, you think he was like, I went my whole life like this, I'm about to die, like, I'm just like, I don't see him as like Sur or like, I don't see him as.
Yeah, he probably I mean, I know he knows Los Sureño. I told him where I was from and everything because we're from the same SGV, you know?
You
And
think like he was dying and he was like, let me look past all that shit right now.
yeah,
And then,
I think so. I mean, I don't think he even gave it a second thought to even like fuck with me because me and him and the other homie, that's all there was, you know?
yeah,
There was no,
yeah,
everybody else was, there
yeah.
was no other homies there, you know?
What do you think was the biggest change? Like after all that, what do you think was the biggest change? Was it with that release when you came out and everything was different? Like, what do you think was the biggest change that you
I
had?
didn't even know how to use a phone or nothing,
Yo,
dude. I was
yeah,
like fucking like I couldn't do shit. I felt stupid, you know. Like
yeah.
my grandson was helping me hook up shit on my phone, and I was like, wow, this is
You had to adjust everything, huh?
yeah, everything, like everything. Being without, you know, my wife at the time, and then my dad and my mom, and
Yeah.
you know, I was kind of like, it was just like I wouldn't even celebrate my first year when I got out. I got out in February. I wouldn't celebrate Christmas, New Year's, nothing. I was like Thanksgiving. I stayed in my apartment and just fucking closed the door and just
Did you feel weird about all the
there.
changes about like, you know, all the
Yeah,
pronouns and shit on
yeah, everything, bro.
because everything was different and you came back
Yeah.
and there's like people like he's are normal and like
Well,
trans culture and like
well,
cancel culture. I could get canceled for saying it. I don't care though. Like, you know,
yeah.
everything was just a little weird, you know?
Well, I seen a lot of it in there too.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I tell you, the transvestite. Okay, so when I was in the camp, there's one dude had an operation to put a vagina,
Oh, shit.
and then yeah,
You
then
know,
he
they
had it.
just arrested
He
someone
put it on,
and
and
then,
they put it on him, and then he had to leave to a woman's prison.
oh, shit.
As long as you have your thing hanging down there, you stay there, even if you want to be a girl, you know, because they
Read that someone just arrested him and they put him in a women's prison because he got a
sex change.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Or
Well,
I think he just considered himself a girl
you
and
can't
they
you
fucking
can't
put him in
have a
there.
dude.
He didn't even get a sex change. He just considered. He said he's a girl. He considered himself a girl, and they put him in.
Yeah, so that's when I went to school, became, you know, to become a barber because my son's a barber, and then I met Pat, and you know, I didn't really want to be in a relationship because I was
Yeah.
gone so long, lost my wife at the time, and you know, so it was just different. It was just, you know, I'm just like boom, I'm there, and
What do you think is your like? What would you say to the young people that grew up where you did, or
just to all you youngsters out there, you know what, honestly, honest and truly, from coming from me, like being in and out of prison most of my life, and it's not even worth even thinking about being from a neighborhood and, you know, selling drugs. And that's how, you know, like they always say, the only thing that comes out of it is either you die or you end up in prison for the rest of your life. And, you know, you kids just stay in school and do the right thing and go to college and become somebody. Do something with your life. Don't throw it away like I did, you know? I'm still here and I can still, you know, do certain things. Like I'm still able to cut hair, you know, as long as I don't get arthritis. I'll be,
I
you
think
know.
this is a big message you could spread. I mean, you went through a lot of things that people in that life don't even get to reach this age.
Yeah, exactly. I'm here because of God, you know. He's got a plan for me, and hopefully I can figure it out, you know,
Yeah.
before I leave this earth and keep
How do you think would be a good way to turn away from it though? Like, because like you said, like, you're surrounded by this. Like, how would you be able to turn away from it?
Well, most kids are some, well, not most, but a lot of them don't have two parents in the household.
Right.
My girlfriend was a single parent, and she raised some good kids. She had a son and two daughters. I'm sorry, and her kids turned out great.
Yeah.
But that's like honesty, one in a million, especially
Yeah.
where she grew up.
Right.
It's like a diamond in the rough, you know. She did it, but she was very strict, and that's how you have to be, because if you let them go do this and go do that, they didn't understand at the time, but they understand now. So she did a good job, and I praise her for that. But like with me, like what I try to tell these guys, if you think about being in a gang, just think like this: you're gonna either end up dead or in prison, and that's it. There's nothing in between. So if you're ready for that, and a lot of these younger people, they don't realize it till they get busted,
Yeah.
and now they're fucked. And now to get out of it, they tell you, oh, if you give up this, or we'll give you a deal. We won't charge you with this if you tell who. You know what I mean? So don't get in the game if you're not prepared to do
Don't lose
what I just
integrity.
told you.
Don't lose
Yeah.
integrity. Don't like
Yeah,
stand by your.
don't even get involved with it if you don't want to die from it, die or go to prison. That's the ending story of it, you know? Don't even think about it, because that's the outcome that's going to come, you know?
Yeah.
Honesty, that's the way it's going to be. So if that's what you're prepared for, then so be it. But, you know, don't do it. Honestly, don't.
Yeah, and I hope, you know, your message reaches a lot of people, because that's the whole message of the podcast.
Yeah.
It's to inspire people from the story you've been through. It's, you know, help them
Yeah.
get by. So
Yeah, if you guys want to get Monday through Wednesday, $25 haircuts. And because it's kind of slow right now, I'm just trying to get my clientele. I'm willing to even go $25 every time I cut hair, just to build my clientele, get people, because a lot of people aren't coming right now.
Yeah.
Because it's too expensive, you know, and I understand that.
Yeah.
But I pay for my chair, so I can charge
100%.
anything I want, you know. As long as I pay my chair and I make a little something, you know. That's
Come
all.
see Michael Japs at Johnny's Barbershop.
Hey,
He'll take care of you.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tell you a hell of a story too.
Yeah, I'll tell you a hell of a story. Come by.
Yeah.
We'll sit and talk for a little while. And as long as nobody comes in, my walk-ins.
Yeah.
But anyway, yeah, that's pretty much it, bro. And I'm doing good. That's one thing I'm so happy, like, for not saying nothing, telling, or
Yeah.
they wanted me to tell, and I was like, fuck, I'm not saying nothing till my lawyer's present.
I mean, you can't lose yourself. It's like, you know.
Yeah, cause I could go anywhere, and people are still gonna love me and say that's
highly respectable.
a mafia member from Chicago mob. He told me, you can look yourself in the mirror. You're a stand-up guy. And I always remember those words. And he died. I can't remember his name, but he was one of the mobsters from Chicago. Really nice old man, you know?
Yeah.
He died of cancer where I was at.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
So as a kid, like growing up where you grew up, like where would you steer them? Like, let's say all their friends are doing this, how would you tell them to get away from it?
Well, like when I was in the camp, I was gonna talk to some kids and send a message to them, like sit on stage and talk to them and get questions. But I got cancer and I had to leave. It was set up and everything for me to talk to these kids. And I was hoping just to make, like they say, as long as you get through to one, your job is done.
Yeah.
So that's what I was hoping for. But as long as I get through one person watching this podcast, my job is done.
Yeah.
And maybe he can send it, tell somebody.
Yeah. Pay it forward and move it on.
Yeah, pay attention to what I'm saying, man. It's not worth it. Honest to God, it's not worth it. Like I said, all the money I made, it was like not even worth all the time I got.
And it's crazy because you were really like quiet about everything.
Yeah.
Like you never even went and started like being cocky or like, oh, I got this.
Yeah, that's not something I get down, man. That's my style.
I feel like the guy did set you up now.
Yeah.
Because like, you know, you never even were like out here loud. They got this guy that knew you from way back when, and then you came up. Like, how did he just randomly come across while you're washing the car?
And my wife at the time, she told me, don't fucking deal with him. He's a heroin addict. I don't like the fuck. And one day, she told me, look, get in the car. We went across the street. There's a little strip mall. And she goes, look. There was two guys in the car right there. And she goes, hi. And they fucking took off. They were cops. And then the guy across the street was at every day, across to the guy with the phone company. Every day he was there, just right there for like 2-3 hours.
Hey, when you're in there, you start thinking back everything, huh? You're like, fuck.
I never caught it. I was just too naive to it. I was like, they ain't gonna get me. I'm too cool for that shit. You know what I mean? Lo and behold, they fucking got me. And one time they pulled me over. I was dropping off for 40 for meth.
Yeah.
And I got pulled over. I was gonna go drop it off. And I stuck it into my seat right here. They got me out of the car. They found it, but they knew not to fuck with me because they were already on me. They probably fucking told him, back off, let him go, let him go. We wanna get him with the big shit, you know? And I got busted a week later.
Yeah.
With all that big stuff. So yeah, that's you know, that's pretty much.
That's a good story. I'm gonna wrap it up there.
All right, man. Thank you guys for having me.
100%. Thank you. 500. I offer 500. And anyone else who wants to come on, you know, I'm gonna stand by that. All right, 500. Thank you for coming by, man. I appreciate it.
Inspiring story, and I hope it reaches many youths to live a different life. This next woman we're about to have on has been through so many struggles, and I hope it helps anyone going through the same type of things. I want everyone to see that your story can help everyone and anyone. So stay tuned and go like, follow, and share.